All right, Rod. So a 1-1 draw away at St Albans today. A good first half for us, but we seem to drop off a little bit in the second half. Why do you think that was?
I know why it was. It's quite notorious that St Albans always like to kick uphill first half, come downhill second half, because they've got the chance to apply the pressure. I thought first half we were very good. I thought we, other than probably conceding more than one goal, I thought we kept the ball quite well. I thought the goal was a great goal, and then second half we allowed them to come on top of us, back us up. Very hard, people may not see, but it's very hard to get up that pitch. It's got a slope on it, it's quite difficult. And we went away from, as a back four, trying to play out, and then what happens is your midfield get detached and they never got on the ball, which then means that you don't play as well as we did in the first half. Was it probably a fair result? I think the draw was probably a fair result. I think we shaded the first half, I felt they shaded the second half, and if we're being honest and truthful, I think both goalkeepers haven't been worked enough. But I won't turn around and say that I don't think we played some good stuff here today. We did. We've just been in the changing room for quite long periods, and that's talking about just having that little bit more belief that we're not going to concede a goal. I thought the goal we conceded was quite sloppy, which obviously then puts us on the back foot. I felt we got a little bit brighter towards the end of the game and possibly could have, nicked a 2-1 win. These are fighting for their lives. We ain't having the best season in the world, so both teams are still trying to get that momentum. But as I say, it wasn't that I felt that the players sort of had the opportunity to win the game today, and we didn't, because I just thought it was quite an even game. I think if you look at both goalkeepers, neither of them have been overworked, and yes, we did play some good football. And second half, I felt we had to really defend. They put a lot of crosses in, they had a lot of free kicks their way, and we had to deal with that. And just a little bit disappointed that the goal that we conceded come from really a diagonal ball, and we haven't dealt with the first contact or second contact. And I thought Sam had saved it, but then I think the effort off of Sam's allowed someone to tap the ball in. What I said to the players in there, I don't see us getting a lot of that luck, and you have to say it's luck, but then, or I don't see us being ruthless enough to score them type goals. But listen, as I say, we knew it weren't going to be easy. People look at these and probably go, oh, well, they're bottom of the league or whatever points they've got, but the league's very tight, and you can still know that we've been around this level long enough that St Albans is a very tough place to come. And I haven't probably had the best results since I've been at the club, since I've been at this place. So I thought overall we could have probably just shaded, if we'd have not give away the goal, I think we could have just shaded it and took away the points. But no doubt, it'd be interesting to see what Ian says. I think he'd probably say that the draw was a fair result.
You stuck with almost the same 11 as last week. You brought in Fraser Shaw for Johnny Giles at left back. We could hear a lot of conversations between Fraser and Shaw. Do you think maybe a bit of miscommunication was occurring in the second half for us?
I always say we don't communicate enough. I thought, some of the players played well out there. Unfortunately, a big problem for me is that modern day footballers don't just, they don't give enough information on the pitch. There was one down here earlier, as you say, with Fraser and Sean. They've nicked the ball off us when we were favourite either for Sean to win it or for Fraser to win it. But if you don't talk, you don't communicate, these things happen. So, we are trying to bring one or two in. There is movement going on. We signed, as I say, Brad Stevens this week, who's going to be a real bonus for us. He's a midfielder. I didn't think the midfield done too much wrong today, but we played Welks in there as a midfielder, who I thought had a decent game. Very unlucky in the first half to hit the post. And there is one or two other positions coming in. But and then no doubt we've normally players coming in, then there will be one or two that might have to go the other way. So that's where we are. So that's games like today, I don't think anybody's let me down. I think it's been a fair reflection of where both clubs are at the minute. We don't look fluent enough and creative enough in scoring goals. I think we've got Billy not out for one more game. I think he's out. Him and Brad can both play on Monday night. Yeah. So that'd be interesting to see, if we select them, see what they can bring to us. And I think that's what we need. I think we need to be more creative, but we don't want to go away from the fact is that we're all front foot and, we're not really defending like we should do. So it's getting that balance that we can do both. Yeah, listen, communication, going back to your question, communication is key for anything. Doesn't matter what it is in life, you need to communicate. And unfortunately, the new generation of players, they don't do that because they're being brought up not to communicate. So, you know, as we've said before, a lot of it is done through keyboards and everything else these days. But yeah, it's something you still need to do in the game, because I think if we did do that, not just us as a team, any team, I think it simplifies the game. And what happens is that's why you see a lot of players that are actually, you know, at times where they could just make an easier decision, they complicate it because they don't talk. But I say this every week, it's one of my biggest pet hates in the modern game that we don't do that enough. But as I say, overall, it's been a tough game, probably an even point each, and it stopped them losing. You know, they've obviously been on a bit of a torrid late, and same with us. You know, we won last week, and you know, we took a point away from home today, and we look forward to the game on Monday night.
And going on to Monday, finally, you mentioned obviously Notty can play again on Monday. Bradley Stevenson can come into the squad. Do you think it's another chance for some other players to stake their claim and show why they should be in the starting 11? With some changes?
Definitely. As I said, with a bit of movement coming in and out, for me, you know, Monday's a big game, because at the end of the day, you know, I thought Robbie's come off the bench today, Leroy's come off the bench today. You've got Brad, you've got Billy. That, you know, there we can have a look at the right back, see what he could bring us. So I do think that we struggle getting out from wide areas. I thought Fraser in the first half got us out a lot, but we know what Elliott's about. He's more of a centre half stroke fullback at times, rather than somebody who's going to really get out and give us another option out wide. And the system we played today was a 4-3-3, and in all due respect, I thought Churchy sat in there and done his job. Welps played inside along with Ches, but the game got stretched, and when we come away from passing the ball, that made it difficult for us, and that was all it was today. We needed to stay at what we were doing in the first half, and I think we would have created more chances. And I think if we wasn't so poor in the first half and we got in good areas, I think we could have had another couple of goals in the first half. But I can only put a team out there, Nick can only coach them. It's down to them to make them right decisions on the ball, and be clinical when they should be, and make sure we stop giving away silly goals. And nobody can, nobody can turn around and say that, you know, we ain't got experience, because if anything, we've got too much experience. So, but in them situations, you do expect your experience to count. And I can understand if teams are runners off the park because we've got too much experience and we're too old. But you still need that experience in situations like the equaliser today. So, you know, we have to go again, but we've been really positive today. I think that's the way we're going to go with the boys. We're going to go really positive. Obviously, if the result and performance is that bad and we can't be positive, then that's different. But we're going to stay positive, take that into Monday, and then, you know, take that into the Hungerford game. But I do think you'll see a slightly different team, maybe over the next week, 10 days, that you might prefer to watch. Because today, first half was a good watch, second half wasn't so much a good watch. But I'm hoping if I get it right with these signings and they bring what I'm hoping they're going to bring, then I think we should be a lot more effective going forward.